sad story about two lovers and their momentary glory. Romeo and Juliet is a play by the English writer Shakespeare the premiere. 5 acts long in a language that's real weird, starting with the prologue, 15 lines. A 2-hour play about unseen fine climbs. Some stars crust and produce a groom and a bride, and decided by fate to kill the two side by side. Moving on now to the very first act, 5 scenes long and important at that. In the streets of Verona a brawl had begun, sprung by the ones who had fun biting thumbs. The prince came along and gave them a warning, leave or be put to death by the morning. So Romeo went to the Capulet masquerade, saw Juliet and loved her in a million ways. They danced around for a while and around he took, until their eyes met and he kissed by the book. Through fate, Romeo was led to a balcony, climbed over walls equipped with love's insanity. They exchanged vows unadvised to rush, marriage on his mind disguised by the night too much. Went to the friars, explained his situation, told him about his depression graduation. Then the prince of cats sent a challenge in a letter, and he and Mercutio said, "Do like you better." Romeo saw the nurse and he met her, regretted that he upset her, and let her make him become her dad. The nurse came home and to Juliet she teased. After that she proceeded appeasing her needs. Then the two met at the friars to get it done, till Holy Church incorporate 2 in 1.
Benvolio, Mercutio, and Tybalt shared a laugh. After that, Mercutio was killed by the 9-light cat, and all 9 were taken by Romeo and his wrath. So the prince banished him, and well, that's that. The nurse returned, and to Juliet she gave the news. To Romeo she accused about Juliet had different views.
And so did Romeo, hoping for death instead of banishment, until the fire popped and began reprimanding him. Capulet and Paris had some plans for a marriage Wednesday too soon, so Thursday was a day for them to cherish. Lady Capulet came talk to Juliet about him. Juliet said no to her and her father screaming and shouting.
Paris talked with the friar, explaining his sadness, and Juliet pulled out a knife in her madness. The friar pulled out a vial and said, "This potion will force your body to play dead." Knowing how the plan works and how it applies, Juliet returned to her parents and complied with the wedding, and then apologized. They went to bed, closed her eyes, and said her goodbyes. The next morning, the nurse went to wake her up. Oh, lamentable day, their hearts were straight breaking up. Capulet changed the wedding into a funeral after beautiful times, brutally futile cries.
Balthazar came to men who were bearing grave news. It was his final death cue, heaven's new debut. Went to an apothecary to buy the poison, felt it very necessary to die while holding her hand. Didn't know about the plan, Friar John had failed to deliver due to timely circumstances. What are the chances of this infectious pestilence in Paris? Romeo and Friar Lawrence giving messages at the same time to the same place in a race. Capulet's grave, different intentions that were all the same. Paris getting slain, Romeo going insane. The drink had poison rushing down into his veins. Directly after, Juliet woke to the black stealth, saw her dead love, took a dagger and she stabbed herself. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and Romeo.